Hey, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the AWM NFL podcast. My name is Riccardo Stewart. I have the pleasure of being your host, and I'm always joined with my three closest friends, coworkers, and partners in crime. So we got Jeff Locke, Sam Acho, and Zach Miller. If you guys have been tracking these past few episodes that we've been able to record, which by far have been my favorite, one, primarily looking at NFL athletes as business, as people who are able to create value, to be able to capture that value, convert it, and then to continue it. And essentially, we looked at Brock Purdy's contract and be able to break it down, and then in light of all NFL athletes. And today, just kind of an addendum to that, I want to talk about something that's going on. Okay, as we're recording this, it's the first week of July, almost July 4th. Everyone's getting ready to go barbecue, go on vacation. Me and Zach in Arizona. So people in Arizona are trying to get out of Arizona to cooler climates. But NFL athletes are going to report here soon. And whether you're a receiver, you're a DB, you're a quarterback, you're kind of getting that last minute training in. And there's one event that goes on in Sam's hometown in Dallas that hosts a ton of the top O-linemen in the NFL, as well as some of the top NFL prospects of college O-linemen. It's called OL Masterminds. And I want to just take a look and think about from the athlete's perspective of what does it look like when I think about capturing, meaning or creating value, right? And then capturing, getting paid for that value, converting it, investing in, growing it, and then continue it into life, uniquely as it relates to O-line mastermind. And so let's start with the mastermind / mayor himself, Sam Acho. In terms of the athletes that are coming here, from a human capital perspective, why would O-linemen even go to this?
Well, the reason O-linemen would go to O-line masterminds is twofold. Number one, they want to create value. They want to make money. Just put it simple, right? Let me lead with the headline. They want to make as much money as possible. And how do you make as much money as possible? By making yourself more valuable to your team. And so they're trying to create value. They're trying to be better pass blockers, better run blockers, better in their craft. And so they're learning from the best in class. They're learning from people who have gone where they want to go, who have seen what they couldn't imagine, and who have done what they want to do, from Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, guys who have done it all. And so they're trying to create value because they understand that it's a very short window, that there exists a very short window for them to maximize, i.e. to capture that value. Now, here's the difference. In the NFL, there is a window for you to capture value. You might create it, but you have to be able to capture it, meaning get paid for that value. Think about it. The highest paid guard right now, Trey Smith, makes over $23 million. Last year, and all this stuff is widely known, he was making $2 or $3 million. And so in the span of 1 year, he made about $20 million. But if he can actually learn how to capture that value for a long-term contract, that $20 million could turn into $200 million. And so there is an opportunity for players, offensive linemen specifically, to be able to create and capture value. And so that's why they're there. They're there to create the value, to capture it, and ultimately to get paid.
My man, Sam over here dropping that knowledge. I usually reserve that for the truth, but hey, continuing on that, Zach, you were an elite college athlete. You were an elite NFL athlete. And so with that comes this ideal of people know you are, and there are people who want to be around you. So let's just be honest. O-linemen aren't the only people that are going to show up to O-line masterminds. And even though you were a tight end, we probably should be talking about tight end you, but we're talking about O-line masterminds. Who are the people that are around them that are not O-linemen? And why are they there? And what do they particularly want relationships with these particular athletes for?
Well, there's two parts to it. The more successful you are, the more people are going to want to be around you. If you're a top tier offensive lineman, you're going to have people that want to be a part of your team. And what I wish I knew earlier was there's also people that maybe don't have your best interests at heart. They want to, and this is anyone that has money or is going to get money. You have to be extremely skeptical once you have money to be able to protect it. Because this is America, people will see you as a mark. They will want to try to separate you from some of that money, which is fine. That is like, some of them are providing a service or they're transactional or all of those things. So what can you do about it? Align the interests of the people that work with you with yourself. And this is no different than how agents get paid. The bigger the contract, they take a percent of that, they get paid more. Same thing with advisors. You want to align their incentives. You want, as much as you can, get them to work towards the same goal as you. And so as much as you can get in front of that, because you're gonna be wealthy. To keep that wealth, you have to have that game plan of making sure that you can sustain it. And that involves not doing bad deals, being wary of people that are either trying to take advantage of you or benefit themselves over yourself. So you got to do your research when you're working with professionals. And that includes on your financial team, that includes your agent, that includes anyone that helps you start a business, attorneys, all the above.
So we use this language, Zach, and you said it, Sam said it, we say it a lot, team, that word team. And most of us, we've never chosen a team. A team has chosen us, right? We choose to go to a particular high school. Maybe we choose to go to college, but we didn't choose the team. That team was already there. We get drafted to a particular organization. But now that we are there, now that you are at OL Mastermind and that you're about to make, or you're already making millions, you now choose a team. That goes back to us talking about you being the business, you sitting on the top, the business of you, and you hiring particular people. Jeff, the professor, how does one go about choosing the appropriate team?
We've all been through this. It's extremely difficult. Like you just said, this is a brand new world. Like Sam, Zach, and I, when we got drafted in the NFL, like we didn't know what was up. And we were like pretty smart dudes getting drafted in the NFL, right? Or at least we think we were. Some people say we were, right? But like we still had no idea all the nuances with agents and advisors and trainers and all the like chefs, personal trainers, all these different things. We had no idea of the nuances, right? So you got to find mentors that will help you, right? That kind of know the difference between all these people. Like Zach said, you got to find people in alignment with what you want. If I, the player, win, they also win, right? Not the other way around. Not they win, I lose, right? And one thing we've all seen, which we hate, is there's a lot of people out there that just want to be your friend or your buddy, right? And then convert that into them extracting value from you at some point. Just straight up. We see it all the time in our industry. So one, you got to find the people that are actually experts, and those experts actually want to get paid for what they do. So a red flag for you is when someone's like, no, I'll just do all this stuff for free for you. No, it's cool. It's cool. We'll figure it out later, right? That's like a huge red flag. People like us, right, will be your friends, but we're your mentors, and we're people that work for you, point blank, and we expect to get paid because we're experts in what we do. So look out for those red flags, ask the tough questions, right? And it's got to be in alignment, that win-win.
Love it. I love it. Let me wrap up this episode and the previous four. Let's just recap. One, we athletes, as NFL athletes, you're the artist, meaning you create the value. And you do that through your human capital, your physical, your social, and your intellectual. When you create value, you hire the right person, usually an agent, that begins to find teams, brands, companies to compensate you for that value. Once you've created it, now you capture it. We use Brock Purdy as an example, meaning he's now got this contract. And you can go back and listen to the episodes as Zach does a great job at breaking down what's guaranteed, what is cap and skill, and what does that even mean? But you capture. Okay, now what really matters is not just the contract, it's after-tax dollars. And then what do you do with that to create multi-generational wealth? Like, how do you convert that contract into dollars? We've said it before, if you make dollars, you better make sense. And if you're making sense of your dollars, the last thing you got to do after creating, capturing, converting, you got to continue it. There's a wisdom that comes with that to be able to create multi-generational wealth. And Jeff himself, the professor, just wrapped it up together is you got to find a team, as Zach said, that aligns to your values. And so if you want to know what does that mean, how do I find that? I want more resources. Please reach out to us. Our number is 602-989-5022.
This has been a production of AWM Capital, the Athlete Family Office. Reach out to the team at athletefamilyoffice.com or by calling or texting 602-989-5022. All opinions expressed by the hosts are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of AWM Capital. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon in any manner as professional advice or an endorsement of any practices, products, or services. There can be no guarantees or assurances that the views expressed here will be applicable to any particular facts or circumstances and should not be relied upon in any manner. You should consult your own advisors as to legal, business, tax, and other related matters concerning any investment. Clients and employees of AWM Capital may maintain positions in the securities or companies discussed in this podcast.